Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to do a demo of our tool that's Excel-based, and it's very useful to create your own templates. So let me just start with sharing my monitor. Can everybody see it okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. So as you may know, in SEER-H integration to MS project, we already include a set of templates that you can use out of the box, and you may have gotten to play with them. But we can also offer you a tool that you can use to create your own templates. So in out of the box, we include a few templates that are specifically targeted to development or production, as well as acquisition and lifecycle costs, but they are directly mapped to our SEER-H activities. And if those don't exactly apply to your organization's layouts that you use, we can offer you a great tool that can help you with that. So let me close this out, and we're going to go to the location of the tool. It's included with every installation of SEER-H integration to MS project. I'm showing you Windows 7 operating system. So on my machine, it's located under my user's profile, documents, SEER-H integration to MS project. And it's called H integration to MSP allocation scheme template creation. So once you open that file, you will be guided by a few links. And today we're going to be creating templates for both WBS element, rollup, and site element. So you can separate those templates based on your needs. So let's start with just a regular WBS element. And once I click on the link, it takes you to the spreadsheet where you can select which phases you would like to include. For the demonstration today, I'm going to do development, production, and operation and support. We'll include it all in the same template. I'm going to use the activity allocation scheme. The schemes are also explained in the help link, and you can find out more information about it in the spreadsheet. And once I've done my selections, I can click Submit button, and you get asked how many tasks you want to include for your development, for example. So let's say we have 5 tasks. Click OK. And now, because we also included production, it's going to ask you how many production tasks you have. So let's say we have 3. And now for operation and support, let's assume everything goes into like 1 task. Okay. So now automatically you have this layout created for you where you can enter your percentages. So because this is activity allocation scheme, we're going to be putting percentages for each activity. So let's say for development tasks, we have 100% here, 100% here, and then 100% here. And I'm just going to go really quick. It probably doesn't make sense, but just for demo purposes. So I'll enter my percentages. This is for development scheme. Now, my schedule and activity allocation percentages are going to be the same. So for the demo purposes, I'm just going to copy it and paste it for the duration. But they don't necessarily have to match. It's really up to you. Now, I've entered development percentages for my tasks. Now, the next step would be to enter production. So let's go ahead and say this task allocates 100% of material and fabrication. Here we go. And then the last one, we'll give this. So I'll do the same thing, just copy and paste, but then just the same as in development, you can change it. Oops, I did not copy it, sorry. Okay. And now for operation and support, let's say we have 100% allocated. And then we're going to have 100% of operation. So now once you've entered your percentages, of course you can change your tasks names, but by default you'll see them being numbered. So let's say I'm not going to change the task names, and I'll just click Produce Template Layout, click OK, and now you see this is looking very similar to what you would see in Microsoft Project. So what I'm going to do next is actually copy everything that's been produced here, copy. And now the next step would be to actually open Microsoft Project and then browse to your install location, which is, for me, it's a 64-bit Microsoft Project, so I would be going into SEER in Program Files. If you have 32-bit, it's going to be under your 32-bit program files. And then you go into H integration to MS Project, and you'll find a template that's called new template form. So what it allows you to do once you open it, it has all the fields that you need preset, and all you do is actually just paste. The only thing that you'll need to do here is actually do the indentation, because on the copy it doesn't handle it. So we're just going to go ahead and do this because we have our summary tasks. Here you go. There, you can also specify any predecessors if you have knowledge of between the tasks that you created. You can do this right here in Microsoft Project. So now I'll go ahead and save the file. You have to save it first in your location where you can write to. And then later on, if you do have a Windows 7 system or Vista, it wouldn't allow you to save to your program files. So what I did, I actually created a folder called H integration to MSP. And I'm going to name the file, let's say, my WBS element template. And I'm going to save it here for now. So to show you in the future that you can have separate templates for different element types, let's say we're going to name this one development for elec, sorry, and then production for elec, just to show you the difference. So when we lay out a plan, we'll actually see that it did lay out a specific template for it. So we'll go ahead and save this one as my elec element template. Okay, save. All right, I can close this one now. Now we'll go back to our Excel tool, and now we'll create a roll-up template. In this one, let's say we're not going to be including operation and support. In this one, we'll do just system level cost, and we are going to be including both production and development. So I'm going to click yes here. Now I'm ready to say submit. And let's say for development part, I'm going to have 3 tasks. And then for production, I'm going to have 2. Okay. As before, you'll see there is a layout of percentages ready for you. And now we just need to enter our percentages and maybe change the tasks names. So let's go ahead and enter our percentages. And then we'll do the same thing for production. Okay. So once everything's entered, we're ready to say produce complete template layout. Okay, and it takes you to the same spreadsheet that we saw before, but now you have your new tasks. So we're going to do the same thing, just copy everything that's been created for us, except for the header. And then we're going to open Microsoft Project again, go browse to our template file, new template form, perfect, and then just paste. As before, we're going to have to do a little bit of editing to match what we created in Excel. Now, this file I'm going to save again in my temporary location, since I can't save it to program files folder. So we'll go back in and say, let's call this one my roll-up element template. Go ahead and save it. All right, we're done with this one. So now let's say our project has a site element type. So, and we want to have a separate template for it. Then we'll go to the site link, and yes, we do want to create a template. And let's say it has just one task for a site element. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and say operator is 100%, and then duration is 100% as well. And we'll produce a template. Okay. Copy it as before. And then once again, open our new template form from our program files. Edit it to match what we have in Excel and save it to our temporary location. Okay, perfect. Now we can close this. We'll close Microsoft Project for now. So the next step is actually to add your scheme to the configuration database file that is located if you have Windows 7 or Vista or Windows 8. It's going to be under your program data. So in program data, the file is not actually writable. So what we are going to do, we're going to save it in our temporary folder. We're going to make our changes, and then we'll copy it back into program files. So what we want to do first is actually we want to create a scheme. So let's say I'm going to call it my new scheme. Okay, and you can put the comments in just so that you know which one it is. Now, once we've done that, we can go into the processes table, and this is where we're gonna enter our templates. So we're gonna select our scheme that we just created, my new scheme, I guess. Let me edit that just so that it looks better. Okay, better. And then now we go back into processes. Let me close this. Reopen. Okay. Okay. So now we can actually copy the names of the files that we created in here, which is going to be okay, let me just, to make sure I didn't mistype it, I'm just going to do copy long name and then paste it. Okay, so this one, this is a specific template to the element types of electric. So we're going to select that specific element type in our element type field. Electronics, there you go. Now, okay, it's not happy with my naming. Okay. I'm going to save the file. My new scheme, paste it, and then select again the electronics. Okay. Now, for everything else, let's say we're going to have the same template, but as for any element, you can actually create a separate template. So copy the long name, and then we're going to say under element type, it's going to be applied to all. Okay. Now, we also have a separate template for rollup. So we'll select our scheme, and then we'll copy the name for our rollup element. And then under the element type, we'll select rollup. Okay, and just one more left. It's our site element. So we're going to copy the name of the template. Paste it. And then under element type, say this one applies to site element. Okay. Now we'll save the file. We can close this. And what I recommend doing is just to create a backup of your SEER-H client MDB file, which is located under your program data. So we'll rename it just to have it as a backup. So let's say we call it backup. And then you can go ahead and copy and paste the file that we just edited. So now when we open Microsoft Project again and launch SEER-H integration, you will see under planning schemes, you now have the new edit scheme, my new scheme. So I'm going to select that. I will select a project. We have a project that has all element types that I'd like to demonstrate. And then just click Plan button. It's launching SEER-H right now. And it lays out your plan with the templates that you created. Okay. So now you can see that we have for Konos 1, which is a site element, we have specific tasks for it. The same for the second site element, which is repair facility. And then for radar, this is our roll-up element, and it has a system level analysis turned on. So you will see that our roll-up template was applied here. Now, computer element is electronics type. So you'll see that this element was applied that specific template that we created for that element type, while antenna is using just the template that applies to all elements. So now all this can be done just using our tool. If you have more tasks, it might be a little longer, but in general, the process is pretty straightforward. And there is more information on different schemes in the Excel-based tool itself. There are help links that you can click on. Let me show it to you. And under contents, it has explanation for different allocation schemes and how to copy and how to actually add template to a scheme in Microsoft Project database. I think this is covering pretty much everything. So are we ready for questions?